Verse to wait a minute, we need some music, right? Wait a minute, start over.
Jams.
Hello, welcome back, Universe, to Off the Rails with Tom and Mark, episode 48, first ever 48th episode.
Coming to you from Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty Studio here in beautiful Grafton, Wisconsin.
And we have an awesome guest today. Should we call you Senora Kastner?
You can call me what you want to call me.
Okay. All right.
Is that $5 a minute?
Beth Kastner, Spanish teacher.
Mm-hmm. Extraordinaire.
All right. So we got her in here today to answer some questions, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do that. That's gonna happen. All right, Mark. So let's talk about. We just got back from the White Trash Bash. Oh,
you
trash
just
bash.
got back. I was unable to attend because I had a family commitment.
Yep. We did some trivia contest.
Yeah, how'd it
and
go?
It went well. Nate, we have a national headlining comedian that's been filling in for Mark once in a while.
Good old Nathan Scott Ford.
He did a comedy set, and you were correct. They don't go over well at music festivals.
Yep. it's a bait and switch situation. They came there for music. You're not singing, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you throw us a little question that was part of the White Trash trivia?
What example questions?
Yeah, example. You know.
One was what was the make and model of the General Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
69 Dodge Charger.
Okay.
So that'll be on there. But yeah, the comedy. There was another amateur comedian who showed up later.
Got eviscerated. No.
The comedy was Nate's hilarious. He's going on a national tour right now, but it got to the point where he threatened the audience to do 2 full hours.
Nate threatened to do 2 full hours?
Yeah. If you guys don't start getting into it, I'm going to do 2 full hours of comedy.
He's good at that.
He is good.
At our live event, because the rain killed the attendance, he went up there and he was, because there was only 30 of us at that time, he was actively trying to get the audience into it. He was working that room no matter how small it was.
It's all about Nate, really, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever. If you're having fun, everybody else will too.
Yeah, we had to share a microphone. Don't share a microphone with a stand-up comedian. You don't get it.
You don't get it.
You know what?
Stealing the mic.
I'm going to call Nate out. Nate, if you're listening, I'm calling you out. You are a professional comedian, so we're starting a White Trash Bash. I have one joke written down.
Okay.
He starts the show reading my joke off the
Tom's
That
like,
guy's
I
almost
worked
like a
so long
siblings.
on
The tone here.
He's like, oh, yeah, we can't leave. This is a pretty good joke. We're not going to let Tom F it up. I'll handle the joke. I'm like, okay, I got nothing now. That was my one. You got hours of material.
Well, I told Nate that when I'm not there, he has to step on all of your jokes.
Now, is it like a headset mic or is it, cordless?
It was just one of these on a stand. We didn't use headsets
tough.
or anything.
Okay, yeah.
So
I would go with full mic, headset, kind of Madonna-ish, so you could, walk around and do some physical comedy.
Work the room.
yeah, work the room. Yeah. We were in a garage facing a yard. Not much of a room.
Oh my gosh.
But it was a lot of fun. So, announcement. Patreon fans, we got bumper stickers now. Yay. Stick them all over your car. $5 on Patreon. Would you like a bumper sticker?
Sure, yes.
Oh,
of course.
$5 on Patreon. You know how to get it. So,
Okay. Well, hey, I'll put it in the high school. Get it going. Okay.
yeah, I think.
Yeah, and there's talk of T-shirts we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep, we have that getting all set up. We'll have T-shirts for once you hit the $20 mark.
Yeah, I mean,
So if you only give $1 a month,
this is bait. We are
Expect a
trying
shirt
to bribe
almost 2 years.
Patreon with stuff.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
$1.
What color T-shirts? Because gray doesn't go. And I think you've had experience.
They'll
of
be
that.
white with that on it, I
Okay.
believe.
Good. All right.
Or black with
Or-
that on it.
Okay. We pay per color, so let's make one choice. And
Well, I
Right.
had worked on some black and white versions, so it would just a black shirt with white outline of the logo.
have you been in contact with our marketing guy?
I friended him on Facebook. That's all I've done.
All right,
Nice
that's about
passive
Mark's speed.
aggressiveness. Yep,
There
that's
you
good.
go.
Okay.
Hey, I
good.
did my part, dude. You click yes or no on friend request, and
Yeah.
take it from there.
Balls in your court, guy.
How did
Oh
you ever
my
get
God.
married, dude?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, so we're getting some new things. We're doing some more to the studio. I think we've got some lighting that we didn't light up because we forgot.
No, it bleached out the camera. You couldn't read it.
So there's $60 right up the ass.
Well, it looks nice now. You can read it now.
Okay.
Okay. So
but he got it for the lighting.
Yeah, we're supposed to light it up But okay, there
Well,
you go.
this is the first time I just turned the camera on. We can play with some settings and see if we
Our
can
marketing
make it
guy
work.
gave me like 9 options, so I immediately went to the cheapest first, and I'm working my way.
Working your way up.
Yeah. So, all right, we got some. Speaking of Nate Ford, since we just ripped him, I got to actually find this. He is, Molly, do you know about the September 15th, Saturday? He won a comedy contest.
In the future?
He won a contest to do a comedy show for
Oh, okay.
seniors.
Senior citizens or high school seniors?
Senior,
The silver-
like Spanish-speaking men. No.
Seniors.
Seniors.
Oh,
The silver crowd.
Yeah. It's a evening event fundraiser, Saturday, September 15th from 5 to 11 at Ingleside Hotel in Pewaukee. So you can get tickets and go see Nate.
nice.
Nate will be performing, so hopefully the crowd works a little better than the Trash Bash.
Oh, he's a professional. He'll make it work.
He's going to have to clean up a lot of stuff, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's anything like my grandma. You don't have to clean anything up.
You don't have to clean
no,
everything?
she loves that stuff.
My mom's getting to that point.
I mean, if these are senior citizens, these are guys who probably can count the Nazis they killed on 1 or 2 hands. So I think they can handle a few swear words.
All right. Well, he does have a little bit of
Color.
illegal substance jokes that he may want to throw out of there.
Because no one did that in the 60s or 70s.
They just
Yeah,
you
but
know,
they had like
they just
Mexican-
cultivated it in their
Hey,
own
how about-
basements.
Don't tell him what to do for his show, man.
He stole my joke. He's got one coming.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
Don't
you know,
come up
not
with
everyone
many
was the cleavers.
Yeah. Right. It's all a facade. Yeah.
All right. So should we get into Aaron Rodgers' new contract?
Heck yeah. The GOAT.
The GOAT. All right.
Oh.
So what do you guys think about Aaron Rodgers? He's going to be paid the highest
A
paid
bazillion $1 million
It's amazing.
earned every penny.
$180 million if he hits his incentives.
Yeah,
If
what is
he's
it?
a good boy.
134 guaranteed? Is that what it says?
Yes. 134
He
extension.
went down last year, and the season was over. He is worth every penny.
They traded Brent Hundley for a pack of juicy fruit to Seattle.
And they got ripped off.
and they got ripped off.
Hundley seemed like a good kid, but he's not. I'm sorry,
And
he's not.
juicy fruit
He's
qualities.
not Packer quarterback material. He may fit better in a different system. He did not work in ours.
Good point. That's
Well,
very positive.
Mr. Cheap, I can call you. You are always worth money and
Yes.
getting the best deals.
Yes.
You are buying a refurbished Aaron Rodgers.
I don't care.
Okay, because
he is proven.
rehabilitation.
He's proven that he can break his collarbones multiple times.
When he first took over, it was a real concern of mine that he was going to get hurt all the time because I guess he got hurt a lot in college and stuff like that. So that was a big fear because we were coming off of He Who Shall Not Be Named, who never got hurt,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
who played through, who was digging
Mm-hmm.
pills out of his poop because he wouldn't stop. Tom didn't know
Eating
about
them like
that.
like a rabbit.
But Aaron Rodgers.
Oh
has
my
been-
God! I never heard that.
Aaron Rodgers has been incredibly.
Yeah, you pop a Vicodin.
regular.
You can double.
I did not know that. Okay,
Dig
fun
it out.
fact.
Well, when you're taking
All
that
right.
many,
Oh my gosh.
One's bound to get through.
like cords.
So
I think he's worth it.
Yeah. I
how do you know?
think-
You haven't seen him play with the new.
Yeah.
I've seen him play in the past.
But if anybody is gonna bargain on something, I think this is a good.
Yeah, if
bargain.
you're gonna
If
blow
you're gonna
your
gamble, right? Yeah, because everybody else who is just a piece of crap has gotten paid, and you're thinking, what are they saying? Where I think this is finally, okay. If he happens to break a femur, hey, it's the way it goes. What are you gonna do?
All right,
so
from
much can happen.
experience, you know I was an arm wrestling.
Yes, you were, and it was delicious to see your arm every day.
Big old gorilla arms.
It was
So-
just crazy. In fact, I still see it a little bit. Okay,
But
it's
look
good.
at right there, Tommy John surgery.
Oh,
I
spring.
ran into a deformed mongoloid one time.
That's my
He had muscular dystrophy. He won 4 weight classes because he was like 7 feet tall with hulked out on top.
It was a big show. You were
But he
arm
looked
wrestling
like
the big show.
Muppet legs.
yeah, toothpick legs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's probably on roids.
Well, no, he had a problem, but he was like when he grabbed my hand, it basically went around it. It was like grabbing a Barbie hand.
Like when you were, like when I hold
you
my
were,
daughter's
you were
hand.
petite in that.
Yeah.
As I
instance.
try to walk
when
my
we
daughter.
arm wrestled, I grabbed his finger.
He was a really, really nice guy, but because
Yeah, you
I wanted
tell
to hate
Molly.
him. I'm like, God damn, can't you just be an asshole?
Yeah, right.
I want to hate you so bad, but you're so nice.
his upper body was so much stronger to compensate for the lower body.
Right.
It was like almost you feel bad thinking it, but it wasn't fair. He should have been
Because he was
up a weight
160
class or
pounds
two.
wrestling in like a 240 weight class and just breaking my arm.
You don't want to say it's not,
Oh my gosh.
fair,
So
but
anyway-
he was
Yeah, no,
destroying
I have
everyone.
not
Right.
arm wrestled since this injury because I was in a cast with it broke. Just this is how it bent for.
I recall
Yeah. When did
beating
that
you in a
happen?
feats of strength, so I don't.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not that impressed with your
So
arm
I'm
wrestling
thinking
ability.
when Aaron Rodgers comes back, how many times can you break a chicken leg? That's about your clavicle.
Put a bolt in there.
They got a bunch of screws
Yeah,
in there. I
robot
believe.
arm.
So
Well, it actually heals stronger.
Yeah.
Because it calcifies over the bone. My daughter actually broke her collarbone in half, and now there's like a little bump. So now
if that's
she's like
the
ready
case,
to...
they would take college students with a mallet and just break their clavicles on.
You are the worst.
Don't give
my
the
God,
NFL
if
ideas.
That's the case. Oh my
Yeah, if
God,
that's
it's
the case, they
no,
just double
not
hammer.
even NFL. It's parents. Parents will be like, "Woo, here, come here."
I've heard of people electing to get Tommy John surgery because you supposedly come back stronger for pitching.
Oh my goodness.
So if you got a good left-handed pitcher before he goes
Yeah.
to college, get him some Tommy John surgery.
Uh-huh.
Why
But
would anyone elect
But that's
for
I would
that?
argue that's performance enhancing if you do it preemptively.
it's not performance enhancing because I remember coming home from the hospital and going, how am I going to wipe my ass? Lefty.
Well, with $180 million, you can find someone to wipe your ass.
Volunteer line. Hey, they'll shovel Lambeau Field. They'll have a
I'll tell you what,
volunteer
I
line.
will wipe your ass for $1 million.
Are you going to be on call? I never know when it's going to
$1
hit.
million up front, yes.
Mark, the coffee's kicking in again.
I'll even bring you some chili.
Whoa. I can make a meth.
Chili and orange juice.
Corn chowder.
So you guys are happy with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's worth it. He alone has dragged our team up into the contender status.
I agree.
So pay him?
We're not a well-rounded team. He is the team.
Okay.
Right. He's the captain, definitely.
But are you going to feel ripped off when the first quarter of week 1, his arm falls off and
No. He has retroactively earned this money.
retroactive?
He has
true.
already
Good point,
earned
Mark.
it.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
he wasn't getting paid very much going in because he was still on his original deal.
He was getting paid a lot. It's just his contract was so long, everybody else was getting paid around
Yeah.
him.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So I have no problem with this.
I will be a little ticked though if he scrambles a little, too much unnecessarily.
He does that?
Yeah. Well, he has been.
That's
right.
because our
so,
O-line is weak.
Yeah.
Because that's
yeah.
why Hundley
so
couldn't
he
deal
needs
with
to be
it.
a little more cautious. I will be a little bit ticked off and screaming at the TV like, slide, mother.
Yeah.
that
no
type
no
of
more
thing.
of the shoulder stuff.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, the Packers, they plug and play anybody. You used to be offensive lineman. I'd keep your line open.
Yeah. Then you just center. I was a center in high school. Let's do this.
You were not. Oh my
was.
God.
Yes, he was.
I was a
Skeletor is
second
center?
string center for Cedar Brook High School back in 2003.
Oh my God.
I actually can't picture that either.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, Cedar Brook at the time, everyone was small. We didn't have a lot of big guys at my school.
Obviously, if you played center.
I know, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
We ran a lot, so there was a lot of double team situations. So I was never alone. I was always a part of the double
Good.
team.
Thank you. I worry about
So
your
it
safety.
worked. I was
Yeah.
never a tackle. I was a guard and a center.
Okay.
Man.
Oh, we got a Ask Tom Anything for you for later, too.
Oh, excellent.
So Nate,
Yeah.
Oh, Nate.
Nate.
Nate, I hope you heard me rip you for stealing my one joke. At the white
Yeah,
at
that
the
was
trash
just low.
bag.
That was low.
That was low. And my computer is...
your pooter's frozen.
It's going nuts. So
All right.
let's do this off memory here. Let's talk about... Something's happening. Okay, we got a little draconian action going on here in the town of Kewaskum. We all know it as Scum
Draconian.
Town. They were trying to pass a city ordinance to ticket students for using their cell phone for the third time
In class,
in class.
I'm fine with that.
How is that
I think
draconian?
they should get ticketed
We didn't
just
have
for
cell
simple
phones
eye
when we
roll.
were in high school. If your parents need to get a hold of you, they can call the office. The office will send someone out to get you if grandma dies or whatever. Kids don't need cell phones in class.
My dad always got me to take me to the dog track.
That's between
Grandma
you,
died weekly.
That's between you and your dad.
Oh my god.
Dad
Yeah.
trumps the school officials. That's my personal policy. Parents can do
Well,
whatever they
it
want.
was a little obvious when he would show up with the boat and the duck decoys in the back to pick me up with Grandma's funeral
Hey,
again.
but
Be a little
that's
Ferris.
it,
It's
you
not
know,
like it's
that's
Ferris
fine.
Bueller where it's like your friend Alex dressed up as your dad tried to pick
There
you
you
up.
go. Right. Right.
Okay. Why would police have to get involved?
Because the teachers. Well, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
I am.
Uh-oh.
I can speculate wildly, but
But
we
as a
have
mother,
we have
you
a
said we'll
veteran
talk about it as
mother
a
and
mother.
teacher here.
Well, I don't know how they could enforce, like a law where they don't really enforce that in the entire community or life in general. Where there's a lot of, government buildings and things like that, or even at the airport where you're not supposed to have your phones out and there's phones out. So unless they start cranking down on that and doing some chop blocking on
Well,
that,
it could be like
I
parking
think we need
tickets
to-
where they
yeah,
only do it when people are in town from out of town.
Yeah, yeah. No, but you just ask them. I think sometimes parents are the ones that cause
Oh,
the
yeah.
problems in the classroom. Like, oh, it's my mom. I'm like, I don't care. If it's a pope. We're focused on learning.
Wait.
Conjugate these
The-
verbs now.
the Pope?
Yeah. The
He
Pope.
Papa?
Yeah. Papa.
If he Papa
El
calls
Papa
right now,
Francis.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. That's right. No, because he knows the rules.
Well, you have
On
to
top of
fill
the
out.
Vatican, there's a giant Mark light that he just shines up into the clouds.
Oh, he's got the Pope Batman thing.
But then what do you do in an inadvertent situation where somebody just forgets to turn it off? And I know, Tom, maybe you're looking at me like, that's ironic because I would never think you would say something like that. But, it happens. So something, it goes off and then right away, they look at me like, holy crap, she's going to completely lose it.
'Cause
And
you've never-
I've never lost it.
Never
ever.
lost
yeah.
it.
So my eyes just kind of, and right away, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, just turn it off right away. Or you hear like the vibration is so hard. And then
Yeah.
everybody's like, it's not me right away.
Do they use the mosquito noise in your classroom?
They have, and they got totally busted because they turned themselves in because
They whip it out?
No, well,
Explain
if-
what the mosquito sound is.
Now, if I know what that is myself, that's like where if you're above a certain age, you can't hear it.
Yeah, there's
right.
different
So,
ringtones.
Right, yeah.
Older
So I'm
people's hear-
completely oblivious because I'm like way past that. But then the rest of the class is freaking out and they're like, turn it off, like,
an
Tom!
annoying
phone
sound.
is on.
So they will narc 110% on that. And yeah, so I nailed the guy right away on that one. That was several
Nice.
years ago. But I'm like, oh, yeah, see how they turn on you. So, but yeah.
Extra credit to
Yeah,
whoever turns in
yeah,
a phone.
Yeah, very good.
Well, what
Marky
about
Mark.
a police officer would have to come in. He'd have to take a report. The student could
No,
say it was
it's-
only number
it's
2.
like a parking ticket. You have a meter maid do it.
No, they have
Is
to
this
come
saying
in.
they
and do it.
actually have
service.
officers coming in and
at
and giving out
Cedarburg-
It would
tickets?
have to be a ticket. Yes,
there is
by
a police officer in the high school at all times.
Okay.
There's a liaison officer.
Right.
So there's a cop in the building.
Okay.
So all he needs is that little
Police
pad of
officer,
paper.
please.
Whip him out.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
save cop.
Send
Popo,
Officer
all
Frank
that.
over to room B201.
Okay. So what if the I've had dickhead teachers that may abuse the power.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This guy doesn't like me.
Leave your phone, universe. Leave your phone in your locker. You don't need it.
Right.
If someone dies, your parents will get a hold of you through.
And
the
what
school.
if the
Okay, and
whose
that's sad
responsibility
because it does happen.
is it
and-
to pay this fine?
the parents?
They were talking a lot of money. $124 ticket
That's not chump
because you got a
change
text in
for a
class.
high schooler.
No.
Yeah, I don't see it going through, and nor did it because nobody from the school was even there to talk about it.
Yeah,
Here
that's
they
it.
proposed it. I don't understand how, like, okay, if I'm saying I want this rule, I want something done to this space.
They brought it to the board.
Yeah, and then I
Nobody
don't show up
showed
for
up.
it. Nobody showed up.
Nobody showed up to defend it.
I don't get that. Yeah, so not even the police, I guess. So
No, they're
it was
just
a
like
part-
it got voted down 7-0.
it was just-
As someone
Yeah.
who works in a movie theater, I would love to get a cell phone jamming device where I could turn it on and everyone in the room's phone just
Yes.
goes off the network.
If you do get that, Mark, I would like one too.
Because
Very
I
good.
hate people coming in and out of the movie theater all the time with their phones. I'm like, what did you do 20 years ago without phones? You just didn't
Right.
know for
Right.
2 hours. It can't be that important. If
Right.
if your grandma's in the hospital, what are you doing seeing a movie?
Right, exactly.
I was
I
just-
do remember. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Mom.
go ahead.
I was in a movie theater. Oh God, probably 10 years ago or whatever, and I physically had somebody's phone in my hand because I had just had it. Like, I would have been incarcerated because I'm like, what did you not understand about the public announcement? Put everything away, and they're talking and whatever. And can I just go to a place where I don't have to be, psycho teacher and teach people how to be, And my friends that were with me, like, what did you just do? God she had a good grip on it, because I literally, if I would have gotten it, I would have tossed it, just chucked it up against the screen. I have zero tolerance, and as I'm aging, it's dwindling.
I'm sure we can find a judge who will go easy on you.
Yeah.
You're crazier than when I had you.
In a way, different.
You scarred Molly.
Apparently.
Molly was a very shy girl in high school.
Right. I've seen more out of Molly in this last hour than I have in 20 years.
Dated me for a decade, so that'll bring it out.
There you go.
But
oh my gosh.
she decided she was going to wear some leather F me pants one day.
This is true?
They
This
were
is a
not-
true story.
Yes. What
No, that it was in high school, and they were not real leather. They were like pleather.
Pleather.
It was an awful choice. But
And-
the very first person that called me out on it.
You knew Molly in high school?
No.
No.
She
was-
called her out.
okay. I was about to say.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew Molly.
I walked into Spanish class, and she goes, I don't even remember what you said, but it was something just horrifying
Jim
to
Morrison,
me.
get out.
What are you wearing?
No, or was it in Spanish and you didn't understand it? No offense. You know, like, oh, nice leather pants.
No,
Okay,
no.
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 Okay, well, see, this is too vague. I feel like I can't.
Like you.
No.
Everybody who walked into your class alone just got. You had to be with a group to go into Spanish.
And not
Can't
get
be
razzed
singled
about
out.
something.
Kastner likes to single out the weak. You straight from the herd. She's gonna pick
if
you
you've
off.
got a limp at Wildebeest, I'm the lioness.
Yeah.
You are mine.
Immediate instant.
No.
Dang it, she's right. I shouldn't have ever worn these pants. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
No.
Shy Molly walks in with pleather pants that say "bitch you on the ass."
No, they did
You
not.
think Kastner's
It's a
gonna light
spank.
you up? Yes.
No, and I tell girls too. I said, because boys will be like, well, "How come you're always like?" Okay, because you guys, I think I hopefully, tongue in cheek here, know my audience where guys can usually take it a little bit more, and they're not going to go crying home, and whatever. Where girls, I look at them wrong, and I'm out, So, and then I do have kind of a little asterisk clause, saying, okay, if for any reason I hurt your feelings or Tom has a bad day, Mark, could you please tell me, like, hey, Senora, Tom, was crying after your class, and so
Again.
or he had like some sort of pipette issue in science class and got some acid in his eye. So could you just go a little easy on him today? Like I don't, I need some help, okay? Because otherwise, I think everything's a pep rally.
Tom has a rock hard erection today. Please don't talk about it.
Oh my God!
The more you talk about it, the harder it's gonna get. I think it's gonna explode.
Oh my God! Stop.
High school.
Oh, God.
I hated those nards. That is a true thing.
I know. I'm sorry. I know. I try to think about that, like, because I get it, but how do I distract people? But usually I'm like, okay, everybody look at Tom. You know, but obviously when you're not having a problem.
Well, flight pants were big back in the day, so I remember having to
A
hide.
tent pole.
Yeah. Last night it was like I was barely wearing a blanket. But all of a sudden,
Oh my God.
all of a sudden, it's like, oh crap, my speech is coming up, and come on, guy, it's my turn to do a.
Well, I
you always
hopefully-
did
yeah.
skits in your class.
Yes, yeah.
But that would happen. You'd be like, oh man, we gotta talk. What do I think about? This is just because they just happen. Just hard nards. No apparent reason boners. Kids get them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Tom, you're up.
Just
Nah,
sitting there saying,
No.
fail me.
let's go Janet Reno. Janet Reno.
Get it real. Grandma's hair.
Oh my God, her mustache.
My grandma's mustache. No, that's going the other way. Crap. I got more questions than answers. I'm so confused.
Well, the thing is, too, with desks, there's like no skirt in front of it. Like, I'm standing up there, like, do you think like I can't see what's going on there? Like, dang it! Either that or put some paper in front of him. Like, okay, you
Staple
guys.
a folder on the back.
Right? I'm like, you guys, what the hell? Because sometimes I'll just look at the, like, okay, did you just do that for me, or what? What are you doing? Oh my God.
I am flattered,
Horrible.
but no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh
Wow.
my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, so middle
Horrible.
school sucked. Don't
Well,
wear
school,
flight pants.
Yeah, school's just, it is. As I tell my, high school is horrible. Hopefully you can focus on your friends and get through it, but it's not a good time. A lot of
Universe,
Yeah.
it gets better.
oh god, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. We got a few things I wanted to get to. So,
Okay.
how about what do you guys think of the tip the bill challenge?
I don't have
What
that
is this?
kind of
I'm
money.
not familiar with this.
This is
Me
where
neither.
whatever your bill is, you tip it. The
If I had that kind of money,
100%
I would
tip.
love
That
to.
breaks my tipping rules.
Right here. Breaks your tipping rules?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to,
Okay, yeah.
If you got a free item or a coupon, or you're doing like a special, like
Right.
lunch special, you tip the original value.
Okay, right. Most people
20%
don't, right.
of what you theoretically ordered, not the after coupon cost or whatever
Good
it is.
point. Good point.
And if we're at the bar and the bartender gives us a free drink or two, I'm tipping as if he didn't give us that free drink or two. So this could break that, because I've been in situations where I have tipped more than the bill because the bartender said $5. After we drank all night, I'm tipping him $20.
Yeah.
But that's a fair tip for what we theoretically should have been charged.
Right. Good. Yeah. I
So
like
that's
that.
my personal policy. Is 15% as the floor. If you gave me
Right.
terrible service, you're getting 15%.
Right.
You're getting upwards of 20 if you made an effort.
Right. If not more.
They're
right.
saying a lot of people are having trouble with the math, too, so they're just doing this.
Oh, it's not that hard.
No, it's
Move
easy.
the decimal over 1 point and double it.
Boom.
20%.
Don't get me started. It's bad. Yeah. Well, have you? I was a waitress, so I remember. Like where. You
And I was
put in long
snatching
hours.
cell phones out of people.
Right. Like, put that down. What do you want for a dessert? Vanilla, whatever.
And upselling you to some cheesecake. No, 2 forks.
No, I
you get 2
remember
pieces.
having like I was in a diner and like the total bill was $12 something or whatever for 2 silvers, and then I would get a $1 tip.
Ooh.
And somehow I got through college with that. But then my sister worked at Red Lobster, and that's a little bit more an upper echelon
Yes.
restaurant. She would do like 4 hours worth of work, and I'd do 8 to 9 and not get as much as she would. So
Why
it's
didn't
like
you
whoever.
apply at Red Lobster?
That's what my sister probably thought, because they didn't want me. And I don't.
Because I was in a movie theater with that chick once.
Yeah, that's right. I burned my bridges, so some bridges there, and they recognized me from. Yeah.
So, have you traveled to Spain and Europe and such?
I have. Yes.
How do you feel about like not tipping when you're abroad? Like in Italy, I've been in Italy. You don't tip in Italy.
Exactly.
Do they do that in Spain?
You don't either. It's all part of the,
They
the
just
whole
pay
bill
them
and everything,
a
right.
proper wage.
Yeah, right.
And
exactly.
I was so uncomfortable not tipping. I had to.
I think it's just a little bit too. I've done that too, where you've left a little bit more or whatever. But have you noticed too that most of the servers are men? And that's something, or at least back, in certain times when I've traveled, and the students will make comment on that. And I said, well, the unemployment rate is so high that the men typically want to, try to help their families or, get something going, where the women have to, they get what's left over perhaps, from, whatever culture that may be. But yeah, and it's different too. It's all part of the ambiance, and, where you're sitting an hour and a half, 2 hours, where here you're, in and out in 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just very different. I know how you do explain the
They
experience.
eat, or we eat and they dine.
It's true. It's an experience. It's
Yeah.
just, it's
Well, in
amazing,
Italy,
the
it's
difference.
courses. Do they do that in Spain?
Yes.
You get like 3-4 courses or whatever. You order your primo when you're secundo or whatever it is in Spanish.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
barely chew.
You just tip the plate, just tip it into your
You
mouth.
have to, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Bill,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So I don't see that, like most service. I don't want to put everybody all in the same boat, but service isn't necessarily always good. So to just do like, tip the bill or, 20%. No, you have, like I said, 15 is the lowest, or I might even go, whatever. Because I'm sorry, when you poured the coffee all over my plate and cup, that's not going to do it, or I don't know.
I hate when they refill the coffee. I just had the cream to coffee ratio
Yeah,
perfect.
ask. Like, would you like, exactly, that's so true. I am like that too.
I go to a lot of Mexican restaurants, and my gold standard is, did my basket of chips ever get empty?
Oh, that is good. Yeah.
If that never went empty, you're getting 20 plus.
Oh, nice. Good point.
Just
right.
chips are evil, because then I'm never hungry for my food.
It's all about moderation, Molly. It's
Right.
not a race.
Yeah, it's not a race. Right.
I think a lot of people in this generation, which we can talk about,
Yes.
will tip the bill just so they can have a social media presence. is what
Yeah,
it looks
Just
like.
to post the picture.
Because
Of it.
nobody does it
Oh.
with.
You could take that picture and then
Oh
pick
my
up
gosh,
that
that's
20
so
and
good
leave.
point.
Well, a lot of them are showing the final.
Oh, the credit card tip.
How many
my
people
gosh.
do this that do not post it? I wonder.
Exactly. Good
No
point.
one.
Do it on their own.
Right. It's kind of like, yeah, here's look what I'm doing. I'm better
the
than
bill
you.
challenge.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
gosh.
Boom,
I mean, if
boom.
people want to do that, that's great. I can't afford to do that.
Right.
Well, what about
But
the
I will tip generously.
cooks in the back that are like, what
They're
the-
paid more.
No kidding. Yes.
They're paid more.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're not paid $46 a plate.
No,
Right,
but
right.
wait staff makes what, like $3.50 an hour, something like that.
No, my daughter, she just it's like 235, which was ridiculous because I was at 211, 215. So I'm like, what? It only went up not even a quarter for 30 years? What?
I used to
I
work at a
don't get
pizza
that.
place, and the delivery drivers, yeah, they were paid tipped wage as well.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
mileage, but still,
Right.
it didn't work out to minimum wage half the
How
time.
isn't tip like a gift?
Yeah. Well, you
How
should
can you
tip
put that
if
in
you
your
go out to a
wages?
restaurant and you're being served. If you can't afford to tip, you shouldn't be going out. Then you go to McDonald's, you
Right.
go to some fast food or noodles and stuff like that. Because sometimes I have a little problem, tipping, like the coffee, places or Starbucks. I'm like, but I'm pretty much standing here waiting for my stuff. Why am I tipping you? Or
It's one thing
you
if
know-
my coffee is waiting for me when I walk in the
yeah,
door.
yeah,
That'll get you a
or,
tip.
that kind of thing. But so I'm really, or the passive aggressive way where they have the iPad there and like, oh, no tip 10% or whatever. I'm like, why should I even? That's like going to Pick and Save. Should I tip the cashier who's doing my groceries or what? I don't know.
I just had
So-
one where they had the meter and it was 5%, 25%. I think there was like a huge gap.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta draw that back.
You know who you should tip is your podcasters on Patreon.
Yeah.
At least a buck, it'll get you material early.
Yeah, if it's like free entertainment. Why
Yeah,
not?
that podcast will be waiting for you.
Yeah.
And now I forgot exactly what I was gonna say.
I'm going to talk about bartenders.
Go for
though.
it.
What do you think about tipping bartenders? Because waitresses have to tip out bartenders too.
Yes.
So bartenders already get a tip when they're serving drinks, but then the waitresses have to tip them.
Don't they share it with the busboys too?
Depending, yeah. So really, bartenders are like double, triple dipping, because usually at a bar, don't you agree? I think drink-wise, what do you have to do? Pour and here.
Depends
Twist
what
off
you're
the
ordering.
bottle.
Well, yes.
And where
but-
you are. I was at a club on the
True.
east side once, and it was like dollar PBR night. And I'm like, I tipped as if it was a $5 beer. So I
Okay.
put down like $2-3 tip.
Right.
That bar was crowded. I never waited for a drink all night. I walked up to that bar, bam, beer in my hand.
Very nice.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Oh, here comes James Lipton again. We're getting him.
He's tipping $3. Get him a beer. Yeah.
Yeah. But a waitress who's running around, varicose veins, just going crazy,
Yes.
and then they're getting the bottom of the barrel.
I
You
agree.
dang
The
it,
wait
that's
staff, they're
kinda
doing
tough.
more work.
Yeah. So I don't
Unless
know.
you're at like a tiki bar where it takes them 10 minutes to make your drink.
Okay, yeah. But then what you were kind of alluding to before too. Well, then how come you're not a bartender?
Yeah.
So well.
What about?
You know?
I have trouble tipping at China buffets. I don't like to do
Oh
that.
come on.
They're
Because they're
shuttling
like,
your empty plate
"Here
away.
you go."
get up and you come back and your plates are gone.
Yeah, they
Are
pass the
they?
tables.
If they're doing it right, if they're earning
they're
that
doing
tip,
it right,
or
right.
Ponderosa, if your little cup of
Yeah.
soda never
I'm
goes
with you,
empty,
Tom. That's not the same. That's not
it's
the
not
same.
the same. But
'Cause
I
have
would
to go
still
up and
tip.
get my food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come with a drink.
And they keep us on those. You never see a dirty
Mark,
plate
some
coming
people
back.
don't eat 9 plates of food, and this
I
is not a
do.
problem.
I do.
I know.
And there
What
he
the hell?
is.
Mark's got a stack of plates here. He's like, come on,
I
guys.
was at just the other day. I was at a Chinese buffet in Thiensville where they have sushi, and I even tipped the sushi jar because there was
Wow.
someone making sushi. It was
Well, I can
pretty
see
good.
doing that because they're sitting there actually making it while
Right.
you're-
There were
Right.
like 8 different types of sushi too. You would have loved it.
All right.
No octopus.
Ugh.
Tom
Yeah.
doesn't like the octopus.
No,
Because
that
yeah,
did
you
not.
can feel the suction
Octopuses.
cups. And,
We got drunk at a sushi bar, and I'm like, let's get octopus. It'll be great. Tom just gagged it up like, Tom, that cost me $20.
Yeah, I had a puss
You're
on my
gonna
face
swallow
trying to
it.
swallow that. Ugh. Ugh. Don't do it.
that would be a podcast future thing. Taste testing.
Tom
Yeah.
will eat
would be-
calamari live on the podcast.
50 likes. Oh, you don't know. I got my nipple pierce live on the podcast here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can
Kinda.
see it through his shirt.
Oh my god.
Barbell.
Yeah.
Just one side though.
Yeah.
It's gonna start sagging. You gotta keep doing push-ups.
Nice teeth.
I get little nipple boogers on my ring though.
Gross.
You got to clean it.
Well, I went to one of my friends ran the Chicago Marathon, and I was promised I was going to see nipple bleeding.
Okay.
And I wasn't
Bleeding? I thought you were gonna say-
I didn't see anything that I thought I was going to see, except though at the very end, a guy, and I'm pretty sure he must have had nipples pierced, bleeding like a sieve, like the Office show, you know, for
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, do you not band-aid those? But I'm hopefully he didn't hear me in his fatigue of the 20th mind. So I'm like, yes, finally somebody who has the after effects of chafing. You know, like when
He might be saying, "Don't shit yourself. Don't shit yourself. Don't shit
Dude,
yourself."
That I thought I was promised that. I got nothing.
I shit so bad I'm bleeding out my pits.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Speaking, we'll do another Maria Butina update. She's back.
Oh yeah, our Russian spy.
We've been covering her. I
Okay.
just did it as a fun story one time, and weekly there's been new updates on her. Have you heard about her?
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to plead ignorant.
Okay. Maria Butina, she's a Russian spy who came over and was trying to get information by using sex.
Yeah, she was like trying to cozy up into the NRA and other lobbyist groups
Okay.
for
So,
something.
It sounds vaguely familiar, yeah.
all right. Now, what they're saying is that they're trying to decide if this relationship was actually a loving relationship or if she was just being a spy.
I would assume that every relationship she's been in was in service to her spy career.
Okay. Well,
Or in
she's
service
saying
to
no.
something.
Because she showed up with this guy, and it's been years on social media. A classic love story, they call it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's showing up to, like, this guy's mother's funeral.
Yeah. She's deep cover.
They got them singing.
You don't get information by
So you're
being a
saying
shitty
that's,
girlfriend.
Like, she was being sincere?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to decide
Okay,
now.
do we know what spy is?
Yeah.
Jeez, Tom, I didn't think you were that
I did
gullible.
not write the story.
Oh my
but-
gosh. Are you...
Well,
Tom,
they
if
got
I-
her
how do you-
singing, like, Beauty and the Beast songs at Disney World with
Tom,
them.
if
Oh,
I was
gee,
trying to
Tom,
pump
oh my
information
gosh.
out of you, we would be like going to Megadeth concerts and
kidding.
shit, and I'd be whining you,
Nope.
dining you,
Right.
and being at
Let's
every
go to arm
event
wrestling,
ever.
you know,
I don't like
tournament.
to watch it
Ooh,
anymore.
oh my gosh. What in the world? Wow, I'm really surprised, Mark. I don't know. Wow.
I am
We
not
need to have
on their-
talk.
I'm reporting. I think if you go to, like, somebody's mother's funeral, I think it's a real...
No, that isn't. No, that is
No, it's
easy
not.
pickings because they're bereaved.
Oh, yeah, you're getting laid at a funeral.
No, I mean if you're looking, if you're trying to cozy up to the mark or the
Don't
contact,
make me
whatever
sit
it
on
is.
frown.
Oh my
That's
god.
how you get
Look
information.
at, he's getting all serious, like, I'll go to a funeral. And then you're like joking around. Wow, yeah. No, anybody can go to a funeral.
She may look cold, but I am hot.
Is that Borat? Oh my
my
gosh, that's horrible. Yeah. I mean, think of the whole scope of a funeral. You know, it might have been an old neighbor of a neighbor, friend, or so I think that's actually weak. You know, I don't think, you know, what is it to show up to a funeral?
If you bring someone to your mother's funeral, that is, like, girlfriend, husband...
Oh yeah, he's
material.
a sap, is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
She's playing him like a fiddle.
Right. So it wasn't like, which kind of maybe in your point of view, though, if she came alone, then that would be one thing. But she just came
They're
because they were
petting
already
dolphins together.
Yeah,
Okay,
she'll
look
go
at
wherever
no
he
offense,
wants.
Molly. You're gonna have to chime in, but what the heck? She's kind of hot, and what? Look at him.
What's wrong with him?
Dorkfest.
She goes sour quick, though. in future pictures.
She does.
She falls off a cliff.
Okay. Oh my god.
She does. She
No
hits a brick
offense.
wall with her face pretty hard.
Oh no.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Thank you.
But that guy, I mean, of course, he Russian accent. Chick.
He looks like a bald nerd. What's wrong
Yeah.
with that?
Well,
Well,
yeah.
no, he looks kind of creepy.
How did they meet?
Oh, jeez.
That is a good question. How
See,
did she
right?
probably
Oh, they
approached him?
took him on a Disney cruise. You're bugging me with that. Do you need some help over there?
No, I'm fine. What's the problem?
you're-
It's good that the mic is like right in between my bosom.
All right.
Hello.
This guy's saying maybe he was a sucker for romance. Like he really thought they were in love. See, even look at the forehead on that picture. That's like a Beavis and Butthead.
It's a
Draw. It's a caricature.
Yeah. Oh my god.
There, that's her
Is that
picture
her
right
new-
now.
That's her new boyfriend?
That's what she did. 1 month. That's her.
Look at this
Oh my god.
completely realistic
Hilarious.
depiction.
Okay, look.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
not bad.
That's
Cute.
nice.
She looks like me.
I'd let her buy me a drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoot, no.
I'm not
you
into the whole
stop
braids
ripping on her?
thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in the spot, buy you a drink thing. Freaky situation. Brewers game. Gonna get a beer. I don't know if you saw it, like on Facebook.
Hey,
where
look, can I
Yeah.
buy
all of a
you
sudden-
beer?
Yeah, that's how it was. I'm like, okay, and I looked at the bartender like, this doesn't happen to me. What's going on? And then the guy's just like, well,
I don't
like,
see a ring.
yeah. And then he's just like, well, where are you from? Where do you live? And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to throw
do you
punches,
work for
guy. Like,
federal
what's-
government?
Right. And then I don't know what he said. He's something. No, really. Where are you from? And then I recognize. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's an old student of mine. And he's got like white hair. He's got silver
Nice.
gray. So he looked older than me. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
So you
you're
met a Russian student
and
learning
so, yeah,
Spanish.
Russian student. So yes, class of '94, Lumpy. And it was just so cute and everything. And he
Como
bought me a beer.
está?
Yeah, como está? Wait, hold it. He wasn't even in Spanish. I had him in study hall. You're
Oh,
welcome.
okay.
That's how I affect people.
So there goes my Russian Spanish accent.
No, I love it though. Yeah. I
can see that.
But at first I'm like,
Me
what the
llamo
heck?
Petrovich.
And then I said, well, then you buy me a beer. You buy me beer. And then he's like, what? Should I? I'm like, yeah. Hello.
Wait, he told you to buy him a beer?
No, I told him to buy me a
okay.
beer. And he's like, should I? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm in line. And you're like abducting me practically here. So
If you're going to abduct me, you can at least buy me a drink.
Tom brings up that story just so that Mark has to do his Russian accent, I think.
I do. Tom likes accents on the show.
oh my god, I do too. That's good. Oh my gosh.
She looks like
Good
the guy who
times.
played Mary.
But we should
On,
look into
Lord
it
of the Rings.
and see how did these two meet? Did she approach him at a bar?
Oh, you want me to read the story before I show up on a podcast?
I'm just curious if you happen to know because that
Well,
like
you know, you're the
if
one who brought it out
Put
there.
yourself in her shoes. You're the Russian spy. You're looking
Yeah.
for someone of are you assigned this man by command and they say, "Hey, go that bald
it
nerd.
being
He's your guy."
difficult?
I know they don't want her back in Russia anymore. She
Yeah.
got busted. She's done.
she's
That was
burned.
part of the story.
I'm like done with this story, man. You keep bringing it up. I don't think
Every
it's that
time I
interesting.
turn on the computer, there's more updates on it. I love this story.
Maybe Tom wants you to dye your hair red and have a Russian accent.
I tried to get her to
I
dye
did
it
dye
blonde
my hair
once.
red my hair was red at one point.
Yeah, she'd be.
I don't do
"Hello, Tom.
accents."
I'm your Molotov cocktail.
This is why I bring it up. I love-
You just have to follow me around and do accents for me.
Duh.
All right. Should we put that story to bed?
I don't know. Yeah.
Here we
So,
go.
yeah.
Let's talk about this.
It makes more sense in Seattle. I'll say that.
Yes, I agree.
The psychology I wanted to talk about behind the plastic straw ban.
Okay.
Everybody knows. I actually talked about this with somebody who had no clue they were banning straws right now. So I don't know what rock they were living under.
Right.
But they are coming after Big Straw.
Ooh.
We got to take down Big Straw.
Ooh.
What's big straw?
Careful now.
What is it? Just
kidding.
let me do it. I think
I think
it's
we're
like coming
swapping mic
unscrewed
stands.
here.
There's a bad mic stand, and I think you got it.
It's okay. Why can't I just go like that?
Okay.
I'm good, honey bun cakes. You're fine. You're
All right.
fine.
Now say it in Russian.
I'm good, bunny cakes. I'm a good bunny cakes. Different accent. I'm a good
right.
bunny cake.
Now don't look below the belt now. You're going to make it worse.
Oh my god. I have like a river of sweat down my back. Dang it. Remember that one time I sweated profusely in the class? And you
One time. Yeah, I remember that one
I
time.
just remember, and all of a sudden you're like, Kastner, what the hell? Are you okay? and I was just pitting out, like beyond belief. And so I had to put like a lab coat on, the white, the doctor, white lab. My brother's a
Basically.
doctor, so I have those in the prop box. It saved me that day. And you said something that was so funny, in only your way. You're like, for the love of God, Kastner, you're like dying here. What's going on?
Yeah.
And so I put the lab, and the students are
Like I
like,
said,
what's
something's
going
wrong.
on, senor? What's with the lab coat? And then I I put it over my shoulders. This is what's wrong with the lab coat. And then it's just pitting out to the max. And
If you put me in a headlock, I would drown.
oh my
There you got the
God.
nickname Uncle.
Oh, God, I can't breathe. I'm drowning.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I do. I have a sweating problem. I'm not afraid.
Molly
I'm just
does, too.
hydrated.
I do.
Molly's ice cold and sweating all the time.
What is that?
I have no circulation in my hands and feet, and I just
Yeah, when we
sweat.
put the predator vision on the camera,
Yeah.
her hands and feet are black. Like they're not there.
And my armpits are just
Look at the
glowing.
ghost! No, it's just Molly.
Yeah.
Wow. If the predator's hunting you, just get behind Molly's hands. That's what Arnold really needed instead of mud.
Yeah, right.
So they're banning straws. They're coming after straw. And there's a little psychology behind it that goes both ways. It's a cutting edge sword. One of them is this is a gateway ban.
Sure.
So if people are willing to give up the straws, they'll be willing to give up more stuff later on. The big picture shit. So they're actually admitting that this is bullshit. And then one of the other things.
Well, isn't there some sort of data out there saying too, like of the plastic, lakes of debris in the ocean, that 50% of it is, the straws and things like that, or?
Well, most of it is coming from third world nations. We have a friend who's on the show who was in Indonesia, and for thousands of years they would just take their garbage, wrap it up in a banana leaf, and throw it in the ocean. And because it was poo, and it would biodegrade, and it was no problem. It was a
Okay.
beautiful ecosystem. Now it's all this plastic crap, and they're
right.
taking that plastic crap, wrapping it up in a leaf, throwing it in the ocean like they've done for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
But now it's not getting eaten by the fishes or biodegrading.
Right.
So
Oh my God.
They say it's 0.03% of the plastic waste in the ocean.
Okay, well then.
So in one sense, you have bigger goals in the future. But then in another sense, people will have the psychology saying, I can litter more because I don't
you're
use-
not littering at all.
Well, I recycle, so I create more
a
waste.
carbon
Or
credit.
that, like Al Gore left the biggest carbon footprint, but he justified it because I'm spreading the
He's
word.
doing so much good.
I'm doing so much good. So, but then one of the college
Like
students
Leonardo
was
DiCaprio
like,
lecturing people and then flying around in a private jet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So people will use it as a justification and actually litter more later on because they feel good about
I could see that.
getting rid of a
Just
straw.
like people going to church and sinning more.
That's how it goes.
I think so.
So I
Yeah.
do it.
Mark does not miss a week.
Well,
I
I-
just think that the next time they come up with something, I'm going to be like, what the hell else do you want this time? You
Well-
took my straw.
Tom, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Good
Oh,
intentions.
good
so-
one.
But I think we should be looking into biodegradable plastics and things like that, because plastic is a wonder material in the sense that it lasts for 500 years. And what do we make with it? Disposable one-time use shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
right.
waste. Why are we wasting this wonder material on disposables?
Right.
I'll thank you. I'm drinking this water without a straw, so cheers.
Otherwise, you would be.
Well, in the future, I've heard people say you might go to a restaurant and they might be metal straws that just get reused, just like the cups.
Right.
How would you feel about that, being handed a metal straw that's
I
been
love
used by
everything
100
metal,
people?
baby. Rock on!
I think shiv immediately.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, it's like a weapon.
Just stab you with this straw.
What if it was like a bamboo straw or something like that?
I would prefer a bamboo straw over a metal straw.
I don't know.
Metal straws make it taste different.
That is
Okay.
true, but you would just get used to that over
How about
time.
paper straw? That's
I don't know.
Like
No,
how
that's
long would
fine.
that last?
But they're out there.
So you could
I don't
wax
like
it.
Yeah.
Well, they're fining restaurants for using straws now. Serving
I
them.
can live without a straw at a
I
restaurant.
can live
Right.
without a straw
I think
too,
we could
but
too.
do you now, if you're a disabled person, need to have a prescription?
Prescription
To
straw.
use
A
Straw?
prescription straw?
Or you need no. I seriously, because I was in an accident not too long ago, and I thought of that with the straw issue. I'm like, I couldn't do it because with my
You grabbed
I-
the
I-
wrong guy's
yeah,
phone.
Yeah.
Jacked you up. It was an accident. I accidentally grabbed your phone and threw it across the movie theater.
Oh my gosh. Right. So, but yeah, I thought of that. Like, so you need that.
Plus, where you could use your metal straws or your,
Right,
your
sure.
alternative material
Right.
straws. But yeah, I think we should just put more research into these recyclable or degradable plastics that you can just once they're in water for a few days, they just disappear.
Right. And I think if we start with straws, hopefully that'll just open Pandora's box on
That's
the
what
rest
you're
of the
hoping?
stuff that I hope so, because just like you said, I mean, I think back at, you guys are maybe younger, where my grandparents didn't have anything plastic. They had to wash everything, they had to recycle, and what little plastic they had hanging on their drying line outside to recycle that plastic bag. And so I look at that now thinking, what the hell are you doing?
I'm
washing the
condoms on the on the wash line.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, that's
there was
right.
no
Yeah,
such thing
about
back then.
that.
That's why there was 10 people in each camera. No, just kidding. But then my mom, like, I know she does that too, but I'm like, okay, we have evolved in plastic now, but she's still rinsing stuff out. And, and then we have our generation and your generation that are just like, okay, they just throw everything away.
Yeah.
Because why not throw it away? Because otherwise I have to clean it. We don't have time to clean stuff up or do dishes or do, whatever.
Well, plastic
And I
in
know
the
that's
ocean
generalization.
is terrible, but if it ends up in a landfill, it's fine. It's not toxic. It's just going to sit there for 500 years.
Well, didn't we had a story a while ago about didn't they find a new something that breaks the plastic down?
Yeah, they've developed like bacterias and things
Yeah.
that will eat the plastic, but do you want to? That could be what makes the new zombie virus.
Yes.
That's
If
true.
we unleash that into the world,
I get
do
that
it, baby.
plastic is an issue, but why attack the straws? I don't
because
know.
it's easy, it's doable. We can live without straws.
But they're using more plastic. Starbucks is for the covers.
Yeah.
without-
more plastic in the lids.
Good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's thick. You're right.
Yeah. So
And how are you going to drink your ice cream latte or whatever now with its dome lid?
gotta
You're
let
gonna have to
it
use
melt.
a spoon, a plastic spoon.
Plastic spoon. So I don't know. I think it's crazy that they're coming.
So if you're
after
going to use a
plastic
straw and you're
straws,
not going to
but
recycle it, make sure it ends up in the garbage. Don't throw it into the ocean.
it's
don't
only
throw it on the side of the road.
0.03%. I mean,
Doesn't matter. Just put it in the proper receptacle so it can go to a landfill.
we're at a restaurant. China buffet. They come and take it. Right, Mark?
Yeah, they're going to put it in the garbage.
It's out of my hands. Once I'm done drinking,
I am not a big eco-Nazi, but I hate it when I see people littering and throwing shit out their window of cars.
Yeah.
That infuriates me.
Yeah, I want those people named.
Yeah, just because A, it's bad for the environment. B, it's ugly, and now I got to look at your shit everywhere.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I hate those people.
I watched my dad throw a whole ashtray out the window from his truck.
The ashtray, or he just emptied it.
It's empty.
That's fine, because that's like carbon.
I was following behind him,
bits.
so
Well,
I
but
was
the
getting like
filters
a
and
cloud.
stuff, though.
Yeah, that is
takes-
true.
Yeah, come on, Mark. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, tell Foz no.
But the birds use them for nests.
The filters?
Yeah, they break it apart. You've never seen that?
Nope.
You don't. You don't run in as many bird nests as I do.
No, I don't. What are you doing? Running into? Are you
I'm
getting
in the
free
woods
eggs?
all the time. Yeah, free eggs, man. The blue ones.
Yeah.
The blueberry eggs.
Troy says hi.
Hey, Troy, how's it going? You should come here for the movie review later. Let's get on with this interview.
Okay.
Because I got other stories, but I think they're going to have to wait for the bonus. So, Senora Kastner, we can go there. I asked if you are an avid traveler and a Spanish teacher.
Yes.
Besides Spain, you go there every year, correct? Or-
We have trips every other year, and then we've also done like Peru a couple times in there. I've gone to Panama, did the canal with kids. I have an uncle and family living in Costa Rica, so I've been there a couple times.
I know some
and
people that live there too.
yeah, so it's been good. And when we were talking about phones and stuff earlier, when I first started traveling with students, it was a lot more fun because everybody was like kind of like in the station wagon.
Yeah.
We're all together,
Living in the moment.
Talk about trivia. Okay, like who was the statue in the main plaza there, and we're just again wrestling for the microphone, like my brother and I. Where now they don't give two craps what you're saying because
live tweeting.
Everybody's got their iPhones, and they're just it's too bad. In fact, my brother and I, when it was kind of turning, I'm like, what's different about this trip than was when we first went? I'm like, it's all the phones and all the gadgets because they're all into. Again, here we're in like this most beautiful architecture and palace or
Beautiful
the
1,000-year-old
Arabic-
cathedral.
Yeah, and they're doing a selfie like the other way, and there's nothing even in the background.
Doing duck lips.
Yeah, right. That's not even funny. I'm
Next
like
to
ready
the
to
Mona
punch
Lisa.
somebody in the throat. Yeah, no kidding. I'm like, oh my god, this is so sad. So that's really hard for me. So.
Do they bring selfie sticks?
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna.
I love to point out and make fun of selfie sticks
Yep.
whenever I see them, wherever we are.
Yeah. So that was hard. So when we've got kind of influx of new teachers, so they're taking over some of the trips. So I don't know. I don't see myself going on a trip with students anytime soon. It's just that was because I've already done about 10 of them. So I'm tapping out.
Tapping out of the.
Yeah, I don't know because it's just hard. Plus, there's legal procedures now too that make it just ridiculous, so I just want to focus on the positive, because I think, if something, let's say, I don't know, bad would happen or an incident, I don't feel like at this point, the way education is, that I would be supported, or that I'd have to, get into all that jazz.
You're climbing closer to retirement, where you can
Right.
see the finish line now.
Right,
So these
right,
risks
right.
are
Well,
not
and
worth it.
the culture is completely different than it was 30 years
There
ago.
we go.
Yeah.
That's my next question.
Parents
Let's
used
hear
to
that.
side with the teachers. Now they side with the kids.
Right. Like, well, my kid, deserves this, or my kid,
My kid's an angel. You're a bitch.
And I'm not saying that, that's not necessarily, the case. I've been very lucky, and I have had excellent, great trips, and students have been, very good. But when I hear some other things and what has happened to other people, I'm already like incensed, like that if I were not supported, like in every trip I've gone on, I've taken my own vacation time. I'm not paid to do that,
Okay.
So everybody else comes back from their spring break, refreshed and whatever, and I am just, we basically just
Bloodshot
flew into
eyes.
O'Hare, on that, Saturday night, Sunday night, and I got to do a full work week. How was your break? I'm like, talk to me maybe in a couple days when I'm like, regrouped.
I
But
imagine that's not who you would choose to vacation with, too.
Right,
like
right.
your coworkers.
Right. Yeah. No, but there is one. There are kids that are so awesome that you'll remember forever. I remember we were in Spain. We went to Gibraltar for the day, and you could see Africa from that point, and you saw the big cannons from Winston Churchill, and there's monkeys on that island.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. And this one monkey completely biffed and like took out this girl's head, and I laughed my head off. I was so not sympathetic. I'm like, oh my God, Sammy, are you okay? And as I'm like literally doubled over laughing, and it was like baboon. And so she's like, I'm fine, Senora. But I would like that kind of stuff. Those are the kids, because they're with you all the time. They want to learn. They want to, do stuff. They're not trying on T-shirts at the, Czars or whatever.
I got a monkey story too.
Okay.
At the zoo, I used to throw Altoids to the macaques or whatever. But you gotta find the weakest in the pecking order, and he's not supposed to have the treats.
Oh, you are so
So you
mean.
keep throwing it to that guy, and they all like whoop his ass. And they're like, no, you don't get it. And he doesn't want
I know,
them. And I'm
monkey,
like,
and they were not
"A
small."
delicious
Yeah.
Altoid for you.
Oh, you are mean
Weak
as
guy.
right.
He actually ran from a treat and cannonballed into the water.
Oh God!
He was
And
saying
they're
to all
so
the other
against
monkeys.
water. Oh my God.
Macaques and humans are the only like primates that do.
Okay, did not know that. Good job.
Ow.
Nice.
Macaque.
Oh God! Of course, of course, that's your monkey.
Yeah.
I was pointing at you because it just reminded me of when we were in Mexico, and I was taking that picture. And you're a dick.
Molly went out to take pictures of these beautiful birds or whatever, and across the lagoon, this swan goes like wings up, beeline for Molly, and I'm like,
And he's standing behind me, just watching it come and laughing in anticipation.
Oh
It
my
is
God! That's
coming.
horrible.
He did not warn me. This thing came
Tom.
up and like bit me on the ankle, and I almost
my
fell in
gosh.
the water
Yeah,
because it
rabies.
scared the crap out of me.
a swan
gosh.
that's like 14 feet tall.
And
What?
he's just on his butt laughing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was nice. Way to go, shining armor. Yep.
Molly, look out. There's a swan.
She did not see that in her peripheral. She didn't.
No, it got her. But she had to skip like across these rocks to get out to where she was taking a picture. So
Oh,
she was in
gosh.
the swan's territory.
Okay.
Get out of there.
Oh God.
So what's your biggest pet peeve as a teacher these days? I know you have probably a scroll that would go down the hallway, but
Well, I'm pretty open, with the students of what I,
Yeah.
and they kind of tease me with it. Like I can't handle like the ballpoint pen clicking. I'm gonna take it and stab them with it, because it's just like seriously, you can't hear that. And what's interesting is it's the same stuff that bothered my dad, like growing up,
Oh.
or like I was disciplined for, or like stop that, and then oh my gosh, I am him, So that and I don't
Kids
know.
still do the fidget spinners?
I've got a whole drawer full. I can bring some the next time I come if I'm invited back. Yeah. In fact, this one kid, I took his, and I keep telling him every year, "Hey, I've got your, fidget spinner from freshman year." Like, no, you can keep it, because I think I told the parents, like, okay, I confiscated it, and I think he really got reamed out, and just like, what are we doing? And like, you can use a Q-tip. I give them a Q-tip. That's your fidget thing. And then you can make all the noise you want with your damn Q-tip and your cotton ball, whatever. But that and getting up while I'm talking. Oh, balls of fire. Like literally, we're doing something and then all of a sudden somebody will crosswalk. Like not just like, okay, throw something off, but go in the line of the classroom, diagonally across. And you can hear a pin drop because I'm like, what in the hell? And then what are you doing? I'm throwing this out. No kidding. I said, do it later. I am in the middle of something. Like, are you kidding me?
You are in my house.
I know. They just don't get it, And I said, there again, I say, okay, tell people. Like, okay, Mark, could you please tell Tom to keep his butt down and throw it out on the way out? Like, well, what's the big deal is it's a big deal. End of discussion. I am leader and ruler of this empire. Sit down. They don't get that. I'm like, since when do people under 18 have rights? I don't get that. I don't get that. What universe are we living on? And Mondays usually are bad because they come back from Freak Fest, whatever
Ibiza.
Weekend. Yeah, Ibiza. Yeah, oh my gosh. Clothing optional, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we need to get back in the swing of things, So I try to make it light, and not like phones and stuff like that. Like, let me just give it to me. I'll give it back to you, but it is what it is. But I want things done right. Mm-hmm. I think I know how to have fun, but at the same time, there's time to get stuff done. I don't know, Tom, you probably can speak best to that, back in the day.
I had you early in the morning. I was up for the whole day then.
Well, yeah, I think you were when Marlo was born, because I was in Jim's room, and I only had, I think, 4 hours of that day. I was like part-time because I just had Marlo, and she's 21 now, everybody, so do the math on Mark.
Shut up.
Spank. And so I love doing that. I'm like, what are you guys, like 45 now?
37.
Yeah. So, because I always say how old my kids are, and then, what, really? I remember when you were there.
I think you had me watch your kids once or something.
Probably. I did. Or pick them up, maybe.
Well, I watched your kids. You just didn't know or pay attention. You didn't know what was happening. But
And then you closed the blinds.
Fucked my whole Friday up.
Oh my God. I know. I think it's just, it's good life. Yeah. I think I'm more mellow now because I realize, well, I know, and kids don't believe that at all. I'm like, you guys, this is nothing.
Should have seen me when I had time.
They're stacking you up front of the
Because I
school.
just say, well, I do believe it's a little different though too, and I think I'm psycho, when it comes to being fair and things like that, where kids in the olden days, they didn't have all that phone crap and all the distractions, but sometimes they don't have the adult that's going to karate chop them at night and say your phone belongs here, or you're gonna whatever.
I got the impression from some of my teachers that my class, Tom, how old are you?
34.
Class of
02.
I'm class of 03, so we're right there. I got the impression from my teachers at Cedarburg that my class was the first terrible class, and the kids before us were easier, and everything since us has been all downhill.
Right.
Would you agree with that roughly, or?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is now, like compared to when I first started teaching, was we have to outline everything like in a 10-page triplicate form of this is what your project should look like. Where 30 years ago, this is what I want. Okay, all right, and I got quality work. Kids kicked ass. Now I can tell every little thing. Okay, you get 2 points for this. You get 5 points for whatever, and I get shit. So I'm basically and I show an example. I even say, what did my kids do?
Pull out Tom's old paper.
I said, if kids that saw me 25 years ago and said, oh my gosh, you have to do this, you have to do that, and I'm like, yeah, because that's what I have to do, because otherwise it's my fault because I didn't, do whatever. I do like having siblings in class because just like a couple years ago, the kids asked me, this was great, do we get a bank of words, for the test? And there was a long dramatic pause. I'm like, hell no. And I said, why don't you call or text your sister and ask her if she ever got a bank? I said, if I put a bank on a test, she would hunt me down and kill me. And sure enough, he said, well, can I do it right now? I'm like, yeah, go for it. And sure enough, she unleashed. She's like, what? She's giving you a bank? That is so unfair. That is crazy. And so, well, did you clarify? Tell her I was not giving you a bank. I'm like, well, I might as well just wipe your ass when you're going to the bathroom. I'm like, why don't we all just give up? Dang it. So I usually take it to the next side. So
I was not very good in Spanish, and Kastner had us doing a lot of skits. So I like to involve wrestling choreography and really focused on that aspect.
And being shirtless.
Yeah. So I figured she can't fail me on the final. If I rip my shirt off and body slam a 300,
F minus, dang it. No, not
I body slammed a 300 pounder. That was.
So you were Hulk and Andre the Giant?
Andrew was in my class.
There we go.
God.
So I body slam him, and I got no shirt. So I'm not going to take my seat anymore. I'm out the hallway. I got the belt.
That's what people like Molly, the poor girls in class, and like, what is it with boys and just wrestling and crap? In every dialogue, somebody's going down. It's a criminal being shot. It's like unbelievable.
I can do whatever I want. It just has to be in Spanish.
Yeah, right.
Wait, do a scene from Pulp Fiction.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be Mr.
Reservoir
Blanco.
Dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut your ear off.
Yeah. Or how about like Inglorious Bastards? That's good too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one. Very good.
Anything Tarantino does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Now I want to go back to high school for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. All right.
No, I'm sorry, but you put that out there. I think you should do like kind of like a Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. I think, yeah.
You'd pass for a teenager.
Wait, and then have Mark be your like interpreter. You'd be like the Russian exchange student.
This is my friend Tom. He is here from Ukraine.
Oh my God.
So speaking of throat punches here.
Correct the throat punch question.
3 free throat punches. When do you use them, and on who? Ooh. Judge Judy, come on.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
I should have gave you these before.
I'm gonna probably keep the last one for some random happening in the street.
You can't burn them all.
That one.
I kind of want to burn. One would be. This is horrible, but
Yes.
this is kind of putting myself out there, but perhaps to a colleague.
Okay.
Where you're in a meeting and everything's been discussed. And does anybody have any questions? Yeah, what do I do when a student is tardy? I'm like, how about go back to school and figure it out on your own time? Okay, I got, stuff to do. Like, really? Like, so that's the kind of disparity, too, where we have, when you're talking about that phone issue. People don't know how to deal with their kids when they're tardy, much less with the phone. So that's one thing.
I have that with we were on a beer tour, and we were kind of I was like sick of it, and there was just one dick who's always like, I'd like to learn about the wood and how it does this. If nobody has any questions, we can move. That dick every time.
We got free beer in the next room.
Oh
Any
my
other
God.
questions? Excuse me.
Excuse me. Is your formica?
Yeah.
What color is that? How'd you come up?
Is this floor concrete?
Is it a 6th grade or a 5th grade concrete?
But now that I have this
Is
option
it
for
C6 or C5?
5. Kind of feels like a middle. What time of day did you lay this? Can we go get the free beer, man? Email him. Yeah, that's the dick I wanted.
God.
That would have been one of my punches.
But it's like now I have these free throat punches. I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Wow, shoot. I would, I hesitate to say some of my 2 siblings because they might listen to this. But, sometimes, when you tell a secret, you're not supposed to tell the secret. Like don't tell. And then 5 minutes later, the person who is calling you, like, what didn't you understand about that? Like, so sometimes that's a little, the journey of life and having elderly parents and stuff like that. It's kind of, So my brother lives in Miami, so he's like the prodigal son, so he doesn't know what we deal with up here. Like, well, why don't you guys just do this and that? I'm like, oh, why don't you just live on your little utopia island down there and, try to help us out, that kind of stuff. But
I think
don't
I
know.
would use one as a joke, like in a big
How is a throat
auditorium.
punch a joke?
But if it's
Thank you,
free, you,
Molly.
don't get in any trouble. So, like, a
Oh,
cop would be checking
free?
something, and I would just, in front of everybody, smack a cop and not get arrested. So now everybody thinks that.
Oh my God, that's way too deep, if not dark.
That would be.
Wow.
It's free.
I
so
assume your free throat punch is not for an on-duty officer
if it's free.
who's trying to keep the peace.
It was-
Off duty, maybe.
Right. Now wow.
And I wouldn't throat punch anyone who has a gun.
I'm thinking of an open hand slap would be my thing, not a throat punch.
Yeah, that's good.
I slap you.
Slap you.
Or people
That's more
who are-
degrading.
yeah. Oh God. That's gonna.
I'd rather get sucker punched than sucker slapped.
So next week, when you keep just getting pulled over randomly,
And don't realize
There
why.
you go.
Remember that
Right.
bumper
Yeah.
stick conversation?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's
Anything
good.
you want to do to me? I got my camera.
Why don't you step out of the car?
Oh, crap.
Oh my
Again.
gosh. Well, what would
least you're
you
not
do?
Dr.
Okay,
Chen.
this is a good question.
Oh, right.
If you're in your car, you're not speeding, you're not doing anything, and then all of a sudden the lights go on and you're supposed to be pulled over. You know, I think maybe this is different for a female than a male. You know, like I'm not pulling over. I'm gonna go to the nearest police station and say, what am I being pulled
You're
over?
not pulling over.
I'm not pulling over.
That's the problem, I think.
But no, why am I being? What's going on? Why
Maybe
are
you
you
have a
pulling me
tail
over?
light out.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me clarify. It's 1:00 at night. I mean, it's like
Maybe
dark.
there's been a report that happens to match your car of some.
Okay, I'm
There's been a report
like-
of a lady in a theater
Well, maybe they're yeah,
in my phone.
attacking teenage girls.
she just
Oh my
throat punched
God.
someone randomly.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay. But maybe it's too much like you see in a movie. Like, what are you doing? What, just, roll the window down just a little bit. And
Well, it's a
So,
cop. It's not some random person.
I know, but still, haven't you seen movies where they,
Where do
you can
strippers
just-
get their outfits?
Hello! Right.
Hot cops.
.com.
And a cop car with the lights and siren.
Okay, Molly, take the fun away. Okay,
Way
all
to go,
right.
Buzz Killington.
Well, a couple of years ago, there was a guy who had an app on his phone. It was the red and blue lights, and he was just putting it on his dashboard and pulling people
Oh,
over
thank
for
you.
kicks.
Thank you, Molly. Okay. Mark, very good.
So look for the uniform
Mark.
officer.
Okay, now everybody knows that. Way to go. Okay.
Maybe some things we shouldn't say, Mark.
He got in a shit ton of trouble, so
I bet.
he is a
Yeah.
lesson universe. Let's learn from it.
All right. Deserted Island. 2 items.
It's like Naked and Afraid.
Yeah. I love that show.
I guess machete, right?
Need a machete.
Okay.
But you mean the knife or the man?
The man machete.
Yeah, because I'll have
Donnie
the man,
Trejo.
because I'll have the strength, the
And
power,
he'll understand
and he'll
Spanish.
have the machete.
There's no language
Oh my
barrier.
God, I've seen that. Oh my God. Very good.
So
Oh
if
my
a third guy
God.
washes up, you can talk behind his back.
Oh my God.
Tom Hanks washes up.
Yeah, you can.
What would be the second one? I don't know. Like Flint? Is that, like
How about
for
a
fire?
lighter?
Well, that's gonna,
It's gonna
yeah.
run out
Yeah, how
eventually.
long are
Yeah.
you stuck on this
You
island?
still get a flint in the lighter.
I don't know.
You can make sparks with a lighter.
Swiss Army knife?
And a machete. You're cutting everything.
A lot of knives.
No. Or how about, what was it somebody brought on, like, Naked and Afraid? It was like a 200-yard rope, like a nylon rope that you could climb Everest with so that you can, like, put, trees together and make a house and fort and everything. And, I don't know.
Roll of duct tape.
Cell phone.
Oh, your goal is to get off the island. I thought we were
You're
trying
not
to
going
get
to
away
have
from
any
the world.
reception.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay away.
Yeah.
I'd
How about a
assume-
tarp? Tarp for roofage?
Yeah.
A clear tarp, you can use it to
Get water.
clean water.
I would need a mosquito net.
Distill
Oh,
water.
God,
bug
right?
net
That's
because
the thing.
I would not survive with the bugs.
Right. That's with Naked and Afraid. You get all these, oh, God, I'm tap out right away.
When
30
you see
seconds
the
in,
bites
I'm
all
out.
over them and the
Yeah.
bugs just
Oh
in
my
their
God,
face,
Molly,
that's
yeah.
like
You
my
should
worst
take
nightmare.
Molly on the
I couldn't
island
do
because
it.
all the bugs
Yes.
will eat her.
Yeah.
Like I would tap out that night. I'm
No,
gone.
Molly sweats too much. Naked and Afraid, me and Molly. She would just be dehydrated from all the sex. Instantly. Where are you guys going to find shelter? Fuck it. We're going at it.
Jesus. I wonder if that's going to get cut out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they tapped out in 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Impressive.
Yeah. Well, that's about when I need a smoke.
Tapped out in 2 minutes.
I'd bring a pack of smokes.
Rolling.
Rolling kit. Shouldn't you be working on the shelter?
tobacco
It's fucking humid, man. These things. Did you get fire going yet? Because I'm getting a little itchy.
Oh my god.
I don't think I could do Naked and Afraid.
I know I couldn't. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll
21
pass.
days? Oh god.
You also wouldn't get any if I was hot and sweaty with bugs on an island.
Oh.
They ain't
It's
slowing
not
me
a
down.
win.
Sorry.
No.
Do the girls get to plan it to their cycle so they don't?
I was
I would
thinking that
assume
too.
so.
Like what? Yeah.
For the
How
sake
do
of
they
production.
deal with that?
Because a lot of them you have to swim to the safety
how
point,
long
and I'm
is
like,
the-
hey man, a drop
long
of
is
blood
the-
is
what
like
is it,
20
20
miles
days?
into water here. I'm not. Can you swim way over there?
You said it's 21 days? How many days?
21 days.
And then
yeah.
there's
That's
XL.
why it's
That's
21
40.
days.
40 days is Naked and Afraid XL.
Maybe you're on the pill.
I don't know. You gotta braid your hair and cut it. Make something. I don't know how the whole downtown stuff works there. The whole cluster of factory. They got a whole wing of a hospital dedicated to that alone. Get a cork. I got you a turtle shell. Is that gonna help?
I got a hamster here.
And a turtle shell. We can
going
eat
to
one
die.
and you can wear one. What do you want?
I've been told turtles are delicious.
You don't get a lot of meat out of them.
The small ones.
You need a lot. Oh, we should get back to this. Here we go.
I'm like sweating profusely. I feel like I'm gonna. Oh my
Oh,
god.
should we save Ask Time Anything for the bonus?
How long have we been going, Molly?
We're over an hour.
Yeah, let's tease it off here for the bonus material.
Yeah, we're going to tease it.
I've never teased my
like
hair. I
gentlemen.
was never into the white lion and Cinderella face.
Oh, you
My sister was.
crimped it a little. All right. Well, Mark, thank you very much for doing this. We're going to get into some awesome bonus here because I got
Oh,
some more
God.
stories.
You
Should
know,
I
how
tease
does
the
this
story?
bonus work? Is this like a trivia
More
thing?
of the
Who-
same. We'll just
Oh.
do more articles.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah.
I got more questions, but
Okay.
we're
Yeah,
going
we have
long.
questions for Tom, but we'll send the questions around the table.
Yeah.
Assuming they're not all
We
specifically
got.
for Tom.
It won't
What
be
are we going
live
to talk
either.
about?
So
We got some killer robot
have the AC
story.
on
We got a
higher.
safe injection story site.
Safe injection.
Yeah.
Like the injection is safe or the injection into a
You
safe?
can bring your own drugs to this place, and they have a medical staff, and you can do it
That'd be
safely.
a great sting operation.
That's exactly what the cops want me to do.
People keep going in, but no one comes
Come
out.
on in here. And
It
get
must be
out.
great.
Yeah, you get cured. And we got some more Ask Time Anything. Hey, did we do our commercial yet for Roy? We gotta
No.
pay a bill.
No.
Well, we are Coldwell Banker Homestead Realty Studio.
Yeah, and if you're looking to buy or sell a home or interested in a career in real estate, maybe when you're done teaching, you'd be a great real estate agent.
Yeah.
You think so?
You could help
Yeah.
Spanish families.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there you
Mexicans need homes too. Mexican Americans
Spanish speaking.
and various immigrants in various stages of immigration. Yes.
go. So you can email Roy at roy@cbhsr. Damn it, I did the double at thing again. I've been trying to.
Roy at.
Yeah, or give them a call, 414-235-0763. They'd love to be your go-to for all your real estate needs. Check out our Patreon page. Get yourself a bumper sticker. There you go. Milwaukee's Best Comedy Podcast. That
Made
better
that
be
off
on
by
your
Yeah,
card.
he didn't clear that with me before he made them.
What was wrong with it?
You are throwing down the gauntlet when you say that. Best.
What would you... Okay, Mark. What would have been Mark approved?
Two internet guys. That's all I would say.
It's kind of like New York. Best coffee in New York.
There you
There's
go.
like 50 signs like that.
Milwaukee's Best Comedy Podcast. We called it.
Yeah. We called
right,
it
all right.
Infinity. Drop the mic. Walk away.
Called it to infinity.
one.
Oh, and everybody, keep using our site. You too, if you shop on Amazon, because I know you do.
Oh yeah.
Go to our site, click our Amazon link, shop like normal. We
Our
get a kickback.
website,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
offtherailstm.com.
Yep.
Okay. We'll do.
Should I go through my spiel here?
Yeah, that's
Okay, so my little read here is we are off the rails with Tom and Mark, and you can find us all over the internet on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. The key phrase is off the rails TM. That website again is offtherailstm.com. If you want to email us, maybe you want to be on the show, or you know someone who you think would like to be on the show, or you just want to just talk. Offtherailstm@gmail.com. Tom checks these, not me, so you get all the crazy.
Oh.
bored people.
Let's hit Nate's question while we're still live.
Oh yeah, let me just finish up. This podcast is available on SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, all your favorite podcast hosting sites. And don't forget, we're going to do an Ask Tom Anything. If you have a question for Tom, email it to asktomanything.
Oh, don't
I just heard the word ask.
gmail.com.
Ask Tom.
So yeah, what did Nate Ford have?
I just also want to comment that I love that you still need that clipboard with the notes when everything is off the rails TM.
Pressure's on. It's my security blanket.
She
Clipboard
talks
rocks.
big from way back there.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, you want to
Mhm.
switch
Big
chairs,
talk.
Molly?
That's true.
I filled in for you and I didn't have a clipboard.
Ooh.
I'm okay with it being Tom and
I
Molly
like props.
off the rails.
Props work.
No.
I'm just giving you crap.
All right.
The question says, if you do the Ask Tom Anything, when will you bring back your kick-ass mutton chops sideburns?
You had sideburns?
I
You had a
think for
beard
a
for a while.
costume I did.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on Instagram probably.
Yeah. Well, what I like to do is, for hunting season, I grow the full beard, and then when it comes time to shave it off, I'm like, I can do
Have
the
some fun with
monkey
it.
tail. I did a monkey tail the one time with it was one side sideburn all the way around.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but that you didn't go out in public with. You went
You do
home
it for
and shaved
yucks
it
at the
off.
house, yeah.
You got like, did you do like the Hitler
kept-
stash and go out in public?
It kept shrinking it down to all the way to the Hitler stash.
And then we
The
went
chaplain.
out. We went
Chaplain,
out to
Charlie
like the
Chaplin.
store, and I'm shopping with him like this, and everyone's giving him just the
Everyone's waving.
craziest looks. I'm like, by the time we got to the checkout, I forgot that I wasn't even looking at him anymore, and the cashier was looking at him, and I'm like, why is she? Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Uncle Tom.
I will bring it back soon. Hunting season's coming up, so.
No shave November.
You do like a bicycle curl mustache. Kind
Oh,
of
that's
like
got to get
a
long.
Mr. Seymour.
Oh my gosh.
Alex, our previous host's grandfather, had a feud, a rivalry with Seymour.
Really?
With the trains, right? Yeah.
Oh, I'm
They
sorry.
both were model train.
Yes, still are
Serious.
probably, yeah. Psycho train
And they-
aficionados.
Did not see eye to eye on how trains should be modeled.
Oh my goodness. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
But they didn't talk.
H scale, H scale, H scale, H scale.
Market.
Lionel.
There's a lot of money in that.
There is.
I had to move Alex's grandpa, and there was
Yep.
$1 million worth of train stuff. It was
It all
insane.
went missing in the move.
Getting a little older there, guy. This ain't going to the home
What
with you.
trade?
Here's how the picture works. So, all right. We're not wrapping this one up too good. I don't want to.
No, support the show on Patreon. If you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money, like us or comment on us or share us with your friends, because that's a great way to help the show advance. And that's the way the algorithm decide what's going to be in your recommendation box is the likes and the comments. So let's get those likes and comments a flooding.
All right, and thank you very much, Senora Kastner.
Say nada.
We got some
No
more.
problem. Mi casa es tu casa.
Sweet. All right. Remember, universe, we're not good enough. And I am fixing your mic stand.
Well, because look at it's